welcome to another video. I thought it was time to rip into the Quadzilla and get this thing running right. As you guys know, it was kind of iffy with the starting. So the first thing I'm going to do is clean up the carb here. I've got the carb all apart over here, and I took out all the jets and stuff, and they're in the bag. I'm going to see if it was jetted correctly first, and if it's not, I'm going to put the other jets in it because it was really hard to start. The second thing was, I took off the pipe. I noticed oil was leaking out of the pipe right here, which is never a great thing, but it wasn't a whole lot. But I'm going to get the pipe out and dump out the excess oil in it, and just hope that there's not a ton, and that there's not a seal broken in the motor. I don't think there is, but I don't know. I saw some oil leaking out of the pipe over here too, because the pipe comes around. It's over there, sitting by the seat. But the pipe goes all the way around, and I noticed oil was leaking out of the part where it attaches right here. So the long part goes right there. So it's leaking out right here and right here. And it was quite a bit of oil. As you can see, there's some residue left over from it right there on the motor. And it was quite a bit, and it was just making me worried. I don't know if I have it running too rich or what, but it was pretty substantial amount of oil. Also, as you guys know, this thing was used as a sand dune quad, and right now I am getting all the sand out of here because a lot was left over, and I'm cleaning up this, and I'm going to clean up the frame because it's all full of sand and stuff, and then I'm going to lube up the chain and stuff because I never really even got around to doing that. Then I'm going to paint up some of these parts on here. I'm going to order a new taillight for it and new bracket for this. I want to order a new seat cover because this one's kind of ripping in the back. As you can see, it has a rip right there from kicking it over. But I'd like to get a new seat cover for it. What else? As you can see right here, this is a really bad situation right here. So the plastic's kind of cracked right there, and it kind of ripped through. And these bolts, I can't get off. They're so tight on there. So I'm going to have to get these off as well and get new bolts and see if I can fix this. As you can see, the weld broke right there. You can see that's supposed to be welded in there. Also, this must have broken off at some point. I don't know if somebody crashed it or what, but that needs to be put back on. Air filter looks good. Everything like that looks good. I'm going to paint up this lever right here, the brake lever, probably like a silver color or a black, because that's just kind of rusty and looks kind of crappy. What else? I'm going to do all new oil change, all new fluids, and get all that up to date. Drain the coolant out and put some new oil in it, just so it's ready for the summer here. I checked the piston out. I looked in the port. No scratches whatsoever, so the top end seems to be doing pretty well so far. That means the rods and stuff are holding up pretty well. Let's see if I can get in there with the camera. Let's see if I can kick it over a while. See if I can zoom in a little bit more. Let's see. Absolutely zero scratches. Just some oil residue on the piston, but zero scratches. Also, if you look up through the motor, the exhaust end of it, we've got, let's see if we can see up there. I don't know if we are going to be able to, but same thing, zero scratches, and the cylinder wall you can really see when you go up the exhaust port side, and it looks really good. So yeah, it doesn't require too much work. I'm just hoping the seal isn't broken in the motor, and if it is, then I will have the motor sent in and somebody can do it, because I'm not going to do the seal. Unless it's just underneath the clutch cover case, which usually they're not. Usually they're inside. And it requires special tools to get to it. So I took off this cover as well, and that's not leaking any oil underneath here, so that's a good sign. I looked at the sprockets. Sprockets still seem pretty good. They're pretty squared off, as you can see. So I think those are still pretty good. Those are pretty squared off too. So sprockets seem to be good. Foot pegs are strong. No breaks by the frame anywhere, because that's usually a pretty soft spot right there. And everything else looks pretty sturdy. I haven't found any other cracks besides the one that is detachable right here, which isn't a huge deal. That just holds in the plastic. It's not anything with the support of the frame, so that doesn't really matter too much. But I'm going to finish cleaning this stuff up, and I'm gonna order some new parts for it. Try to get a headlight here and some other things for it. Maybe some LED lights and whatnot on this bad boy. So I'm probably gonna order those off of Amazon. Probably like a light bar for the front that can sit right here or down below, like right here, and have that wired up to the motor or a small battery or something. This already comes with the thing where you can hook it on, and in case you fall off, it can just pull out. So that's kind of nice. This hooks up to the gas tank. We'll get all the sand on it and everything. It's pretty crappy, but I have to get some more bolts for this, or zip ties for this, so that stays on. These plastics are not too bad. They're not super scratched up. It just has some rusty spots in here from the sand. The shocks look pretty decent. I'm not going to change those out. And I'm looking at the radiator right now, and it looks pretty good. The fins aren't too bent up in there, so you guys can see. So I think we're getting good airflow through there. So we'll get this thing off, clean out the air filter, get everything primed and good to go. We'll re-oil the air filter, put new oil in the motor, clean out the carb, put everything back together, put a new taillight on it because this one's really ugly. Get this bar fixed up and welded, and get this thing done. And I think there needs to be fluid in there because it doesn't really look like there's a ton of fluid in there. And I think that's pretty much it. Also, I want to get some ice tires for the front and paint the rims black. I also found this really good paint that I'm going to paint the rims black with, and that's coming from Amazon as well. So I'll have the light and the paint coming from Amazon, so we can finish that up. It should be good to go. Hopefully it's not the seal in the motor it's causing the problem. And I've already looked at the reed cage as well. Here it is. Gasket on it's pretty good. This reed right here on the top looks like it's kind of coming up, as you can see. So I'm going to take these bolts out and flip it around, just so it can be tight to the frame. I've done that in multiple bikes before, and usually when they get worn out like that, you just flip them around. So stay tuned. Should be a pretty fun one. Also, I was going to rebuild the top end, but obviously it doesn't need it if nothing's scratched up in there. It has really good compression. I saw the rings, they're expanding when you go down with the foot lever, so everything seems like they're pretty good in there. I don't know how the rod is, but I'm assuming it's pretty good. There's no play when I took off that cover and put a wrench on it. So everything seems pretty tight in there. Nothing's leaking out of the motor except for just the exhaust. So I think I might just be running it too rich or something like that. So we'll see what happens. Alright, so I'm digging into the Quadzilla. I got the whole motor cleaned up. Looks pretty dang good. Got the shock cleaned up. All the frame in the back is clean. The front is not clean yet. And I was just looking at the coolant, and as you can see, we'll zoom in, there's not a whole lot in there. So it's pretty low on coolant, which is not the greatest thing in the world. That's not good. But yeah, I got all the plastics off. Here's one of the plastics, and all the other ones are over there. So I'm gonna clean up this whole area, put some more coolant in it, and do a drain on it. And then we'll fill it all back up with the right coolant. I should grease all the bearings and stuff too while I'm over here. Got the pipe back on. And yeah, it's a pretty simple machine when it comes down to it. Here's the headlight bracket. Put that back up here. That's for the headlight. So we'll get one to mount here pretty soon. Pretty nice that it already has one. So I don't have to remount that anywhere. Yeah, otherwise it looks pretty good. Not too shabby, other than the coolant. So I'll fix the coolant and we'll put her all back together and see if she starts up. Just wanted to clean everything down, make it look really nice. And eventually it'd be sweet to like big bore it out even more, but I don't know. I might sell it. I have no idea yet. I'd like to get some tires for it, some road tires so we can, or some grass tires for it, so I can ride it in the grass and stuff, and on the road. But we'll see what happens. Right, so just used my jack and then took these two wheels off right here, as you can see, and I noticed that this rotor is kind of bent right here. It's not as smooth as the other one, so when you kind of push it through, you kind of get stuck, and you can see the angle of the rotor. It's like a tiny bit bent, which doesn't affect it like a whole lot, but you can just tell because it kind of grabs the brake. If we really zoom in there, you can see when the brake pads open up and see how it kind of moves. And then the other one, this one looks really good. See, you spin it and it keeps on spinning. So that one's good. So these, I'm letting the air out right now. And then I'm going to take my tire irons and get this tire off and see what we're working with underneath here. Just got this valve thing on it, releasing the air from it, and then we'll take the tire off, then put some new tubes in it, and then put these tires back on. These tires are a little bit smaller than those, so it should work out perfectly. And then for the back wheels, I'll probably take these paddle tires off and put the other tires back on. Right here, we've got a set of tires right here. I can put on those. So we'll take these off and put those on there instead of the studded tires. Because the studded tires, you can't ride on the road or the grass because it rips it up. So we'll do that. I'll update you guys when I get these off. Shouldn't be too bad, but you never know. I know dirt bike tires take a while to get off, but these shouldn't be too bad. All right, first tire off. Breaking this bead was a little bit tougher than I expected, but once you break the bead, then it's pretty easy to get the rim off. So this is what the rim looks like. It's super light. It's all aluminum, so it's going to be really light. I just have to get that one off, and then two more. So 3 more to go. They're not that bad to get off, honestly, but I think that one's a tubeless tire, so I might just put it right back on and see if it works. If not, then whatever. I'll just put tubes in them. Alright guys, got this tire back on here. We're gonna see if it pumps up now. Hopefully this works here. Set this up. Got the air compressor going right now, so we will see if this thing works. Alright, so that did not work. We will see what to do. I'm gonna look it up how to do it online here quick. Alright guys, got the first tire on. Holding air pretty well. These are tubeless tires, and then tubeless rims, so you don't need a tube for them. To get the tire on, I just put the tire back on the rim, and then what I did was hold it upright like this, push down, and then fill it up with air. That put enough pressure on the beads, so then the air would fill up, and then I got about halfway, and it got like super filled up with air. And then like one section of it, how it always happens is one section is left open right here because the bead doesn't seat correctly. And then what I did was just fill it up to like 20 psi, and then pounded the tire up and down like this until that bubble finally popped, and it took a while, but yeah, I finally popped it into place, and the whole bead seated, so that was good. So one tire down, just have to paint the rims, and that one will be done. So one down, 3 to go. Alright guys, got both tires good to go. Now we're just gonna do the rims, I think, and might do the back tires too, just so I can get those done right away. But man, those are tough to seat. They were not wanting to go. I had to pump those up to like 32 psi. I think it doesn't want to go over. I think these don't want to go over 30. Where does it say that? It says do not pump over 36 psi. Now it's at 32. So that's pretty sketch. Crispy. Running great. So now we are going to take this aircraft painter and spray these rims to get off the excess paint. And then we're going to spray it with the Superwrap, which is supposed to be super good. So we're going to test it out and see what it makes the rims look like. So it should be pretty fun. We're going to paint these up too, and should be good to go. Alright guys, so I got the paint all stripped off with the paint stripper, and I took a cloth and wiped everything down. Next step is going to be taking this. This is called Superwrap Do-It-Yourself Prep Spray. We're going to spray it down with that. Apply a nice thick coat on there, and then we're going to take a rag and we're going to wipe it off. Take a clean rag. We're going to wipe this off now, making sure that no debris is on the surface of the rim. Then I'm going to take an air compressor and make sure all the dust is off of it. Alright, next we're going to take some of this tape and go around the outsides of the tire. So we're going to apply this to the tire so that we don't get overspray on the tire. This is going to go like that, all around the wheel. Alright, so now that that is done, we are going to take our super wrap. This is sprayable vinyl wrap. Link will be in the description for this. So we're going to spray the rim with, it says, we're going to do 15 coats, 10 to 15 minutes between each coat. And we're going to do that right there. And you spray 8 inches above the surface of the rim for best results. And we're going to shake this for a good 2 minutes before we use it. Alright, it's all shook up, so now let us apply it. Can feel the space within between. Hide away under the sheet. You want to do a light coat first, followed by a few thicker coats. There, that's the first coat done. Zoom in on that, and we can see first coat is done. So then we're just going to repeat that for 14 more times until we get a nice coat of paint on it, and everything looks great. Alright guys, time to apply the second coat. We're going to shake up the can one more time, and then apply the second coat. Again, 10 to 12 inches away from the rim, you're going to spray. Again, just go in this circular motion. Just making sure you get everywhere. And that's the second coat. As you can see, the second coat covered pretty well. You don't see any metal anymore, so I'll let you guys know what it looks like here pretty soon. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so I applied probably 5 coats to each wheel, each rim, and it's turning out pretty good. Next step is going to be to just apply the clear coat, a protective clear coat that comes with it, and that just protects it and gives it a nice shine. So that will be the next step, and then I'll be doing the back rims as well. So stay tuned for that. We're going to put it all back together, take it for a ride, and we should be good to go. Alright guys, so I just got the Quadzilla finished up here. As you can see, the rims are now black, and it looks pretty dang sweet with the black rims. Man, those are looking nice. Look at those bad boys. Look at those. Would you look at it? And the Superwrap I used was the black glossy kind, and then I used the high gloss top coat to protect it. And then before doing it, I used the Superwrap prep spray, which took off all the grease and stuff. And they turned out really, really nice. Let's do a quick check on it. Back there, that rim, that one. So yeah, they look super nice. I'm really happy with it. It looks pretty mean now. I think that looks really good. And what's really nice about the Superwrap is that it just peels right off. If you want to get the rims back to the chrome look, you can just peel it right off. So that's awesome. So let's take it for a quick ride. We're going to take the GoPro and head out here. As you can see, it's super flooded here in Wisconsin. Everything's melting and flooding, and it's super windy right now. Look at that, we've got like a lake over there. So we're going to take it for a quick rip on the road because it's way too wet. I don't want to mess it up, and we're going to see how fast it goes. So stay tuned, should be pretty exciting. Alright, now with that, we got the wheels painted, we got everything cleaned up, new spark plugs, new spark plugs, all new oil, all new coolant. We're going to take it for a test drive, see if it runs a little bit better than it did. Man, it's really windy out, but hopefully it runs a little bit better. Just, let's see, because this thing used to be pretty tough to start, and it was really annoying trying to start it. And I'm hoping it's easier to start, and just hoping it runs a lot better. I do have studded tires in the back right now, so it's going to be a little wobbly in the front. We're going to choke her, turn it to on. Hopefully this runs. Kick it over, prime it up a couple kicks like that, and then one big one. Oh yeah, baby. First kick. That's what I like about that. Yeah, baby, she sounds mean. Let this warm up for a bit. all the water. Whoa. It's weird riding with studded tires on the back, on the gravel. It's really weird. I don't want to get sucked down. Oh. Runs minty. Listen to that idle perfectly and everything. Oh, didn't find neutral, but man, that thing's sweet. Runs a lot better. Holy cow, thing's awesome. It's fast. Still didn't find neutral. Right there, I think. Nope. There we go. Man, that thing's awesome. Sounds so good. Wipe this off quick so it doesn't stain. I just took pictures and posted this bad boy on Facebook. Now it runs perfect, starts up first kick. That's awesome. Thanks to Superwrap for sending me the sweet paint. Thing looks sweet. Dang, that looks good. Holy man, that's minty. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed that video. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Make sure to hit that bell notification if you haven't already. We did a lot to this. We put new tires on it, painted the rims, changed all the fluids, the spark plug. Made the brakes work a lot better. Painted a few parts on it. Oiled or did the chain, cleaned the air filter. This thing is ready to go. I do want to put a light on the front still and a new one in the back, and then we should be good to go. Thing's sweet. Top speed run coming up pretty soon here, and I might take this to the ice this weekend. And might rip it around the ice because now that I have the studded tires in the back and the knobbies in the front, should be perfect for that. So stay tuned for that video, and thanks for watching guys. Thanks for subscribing. Go buy some Superwrap and do the same thing to your rims because it's sweet. You can just peel it off whenever, and it's super durable too, a lot better than the plastic dip stuff that you use. This stuff is way better in my opinion, but I'll leave the link below for that, and you guys can go buy that. But thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and until next time, we are out.